What's good, you guys? It's Lifestyle from lifestyledid.com, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how you can make some crazy piano loops for yourself. I'm going to show you the way that I like to do it, and hopefully it can help you out. Stay tuned throughout the whole video because I will be giving this loop away for free at the end to all of you to use. So check out how I made it, and at the end, if you want to download the sample, it will be available. This sample will also be available in my Black Friday exclusive loop kit that will be dropping this week for Black Friday. It will only be available that day for 24 hours. It's going to be a very low price with 15 to 16 loops in it, probably 16 since I'm including this one. I have it nice and ready for you guys. I went crazy on it, and that will be available on Black Friday for 24 hours. It will be a very cheap price. This loop will be included. If you like this loop, go ahead and download it after. With all that said, let's get into the tutorial. All right, so we got our tempo around 150. I have Keyscape open. I'm going to be using the cinematic preset, and we're going to lay down some chords, and then we're going to put some melody on top of it. Then we're going to throw a few plugins on it. I'm going to share a free one with you for pitching that I found that's really cool, and we'll go from there. So I always like to start off with a chord progression and then add melody on top of that. So I'm going to play this chord progression right here. So I'm going to just hit record, and I'm going to play the chords. I'll get them on time after, but I just want to get the tone of the chords going right, and I want to get the feel for it. So these are the three chords I have recorded. We might go with a fourth one after, but I'm going to just show you how I'm going to set these up. So we're just going to work with these three chords for right now, and we're going to duplicate these over here. And on this section over here, we're actually going to invert the second note of each. Might add the root notes at a lower octave. Let's try that out and see what this sounds like. And let's Control A and strum this. I know over here I want to have like a passing note, kind of like that. And then this chord needs to be turned down a little bit, especially this first note right here. So now let's add some type of top melody to this, and I'm just going to kind of mess around and kind of find something that I like. And for this, I kind of like to just have fun, and as I go and type them in or play it on my keyboard, I kind of just listen to what sounds good and get a mood for that while thinking of drums being on this, because then it helps me create the top melody. As long as I could hear some type of hi-hat and clap going in my head, I'll be able to know that it's going to fit with the drums that I'm going to put on it. And then I'm going to go like this. Something like this over here. Let's see what this sounds like. All right, that sounds good. I'm going to get rid of that note. Let's see what we can do over here. So now let's take this and transpose it either up or down a few. Let's see what happens. Okay, we're missing a few notes right here. Let's see. All right, this is sounding good so far. Let's add another passing note right here. Let's see what this sounds like. I think I just want one. Yeah, that sounds cool. I like this a lot. Cool, so that sounds good. Now let's add something else from Keyscape. So I have this preset loaded in. Not sure if it's going to sound too good, but let's throw it over here and see what it sounds like. We might need to pitch it down or throw gross beat on it. We'll see. Definitely needs to go down an octave. So let's see what this sounds like. I think this would actually sound really cool, half sped. So let's go over here and let's go to halftime. See what this sounds like. cool. Let's take out a lot of that low end so it doesn't interfere. And then we might need to pitch it back up. Let's see. Let me see what it sounds like now. And this could just be a nice little filler in the back. Okay, and then I want to add maybe like a string or something from Contact. We'll kind of figure out what we want to do. All right, so actually I'm going to go with an organ. Maybe we could figure out like a cool little lead for this. All right, so let's try to play something like that. Let's see. Okay, that sounds cool. Let's go ahead and fix this up a tiny bit. I played it a little bit out of time, so all we need to do is go over here and kind of fix these. And I think it's really important when you're using an organ to really pay attention to your decay times, because it could really switch up and give the track a groove, especially if you're doing, you know, quick notes instead of long notes. For instance, let me just show you real quick. So pay attention to this C sharp. If I have it stretched out, right, and then I bring it back so it's more choppy, it just fits better and it goes along with the piano that I'm playing. So I like to pay attention very close to how long I'm actually decaying my instruments to pay attention to the groove of the beat. Especially right there, it has that nice roll to it, right? So let's see if it sounds good if we just duplicate it. So what we're going to do from here is actually export this, and I'm going to show you a free plugin that's really cool for pitching things. You can obviously just pitch it in FL, but the plugin does add its own characteristics and artifacts to it, so it sounds really cool. I'm going to share that with you guys in a second. So I'm going to go over here, Control-Shift-C, and we're going to render this out. All right, so now we have it rendered, and here it is. Sounds good, right? Let's go over here and link it to a mixer track. So we're just going to go in here like this. And the first thing I want to do is add Waves Kramer to it and bring a little bit of saturation, just a tiny bit, kind of warm up the sound. So let's let that load and let's see what it's doing so far. Let's back it off a little bit. Take the wow and flutter out. I'm going to get an EQ, cut out just a little bit of the low end. Still want it in there. Tiny bit of the high end so it's not so bright. All right, sounding good. Now let's get the plugin. So this plugin is actually free, and I'll leave a link to it. It is called Pitch Proof. So when you first open it, it's going to sound really bad. I'll show you. Right, it's mono and it's not correct. So what we need to do is adjust the settings, and I'm going to show you how to do that. All right, so the first thing you want to do is take blend and bring it all the way over. Put this in stereo. You don't want it to be a mono. It's not going to sound good. And then you could choose your pitch. We'll keep it at 0 right now so you could hear everything. We do have detune over here, which is really cool. And then over here we have the key, in which we could choose the key of our sample or the melody we're working on, right? So according to Google, I'm in F sharp. So we'll go ahead and throw this in F sharp. And now if we press play, it isn't pitching it yet, but just watch what it does to the sample on its own. So without even doing any pitching, you can already hear that it adds a bit of like a stutter to it, right? It has its own tone to the plugin, and it kind of warps the sound a little bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and pitch this down or up, and we'll kind of see what we like. So let's just go down by 2. Let's try up by 2. I personally don't like that. I think it needs to go down in pitch, but I'm going to show you what happens with detune. So let's just take detune and start to detune it a little bit. So you can get creative with detune, but I like to just use the pitch knob. I use detune a little bit if I'm doing like some type of lo-fi thing or like an older sample style that I want to have a bit of detune, but you have to be really careful because if you detune it too much, it's going to be really hard for someone to either sing on it or to throw 808s on it in key, and they're going to kind of have to bring it up. So make sure while you're detuning, you're either doing it a small amount or you're making sure that you're staying in a key, right? I actually want to re-export this, and the reason I want to do that is because I want to have a section of it that doesn't have the organ in it. So I'm going to do this real easily. Let's go over here, go like this, and we'll keep this second section with the organ and this first one without it. So let's render this now. All right, so let's throw some drums over this real quick just to have some fun. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did like this video, leave a thumbs up. You can follow me on all social medias at Lifestyle Did It. Make sure to hit my site, lifestyledidit.com, for everything else. Other than that, subscribe to your boy, push notifications. Thanks.